Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. One quick second. Oops. Happy Monday. Happy holiday day, Memorial Day, for those of you that are here in the US. Um, sure, you're taking your sweet time, sleeping in, doing all the stuff. And I'm going to make this quick this morning so we can get back to all the holiday happenings. I wanted to talk about this idea of pleasure. When it comes to anything to do with pleasure, I feel like for most of us women, it's very taboo. We're not allowed. We're not allowed to want it. We're not allowed to talk about it. We're not allowed to feel pleasure. There's just a lot of for a word that carries so much lightness and good and joy. For some reason, for us as women, we are almost restricted and limited, and like it's off limits to us. It's only like, oh, every now and then you are allowed to have a pleasurable indulgence. Yeah. So let's talk about that. We're going to talk about, really stepping into allowing ourselves and giving ourselves permission, dare I say, making it mandatory that we are enjoying pleasurable experiences as we do things that cause us to receive money, wealth, all the good things. Just want to give a shout out. Good morning, Beatrice, all the way from, I always get this wrong. I always say the Netherlands and then it's Denmark, I think, but wherever you are, good morning. It's so good to see you. And good morning to everyone else that's here. All right. So I'm going to jump right into what I share. So I have to share with you. So a couple years ago, I came to this realization. I was sitting around and I remembered another time in my business journey where I found myself running a business and just feeling absolutely drained, resentful, angry, overwhelmed, low energy, sacrificing my health, sacrificing my relationships, my emotional well-being. Like everything was just out there for the taking. I did not love my life. I did not love my life. I did not love anything. There was no fun about being in that business. There was no Tasha energy, like this Tasha that you know. In fact, if I look at pictures of myself from that time and today, I just look like a totally different person. And even though this business generated 7 figures, it did. I won all kinds of awards, nationally recognized amongst people who were making mega millions. It was incredible to see the disconnect between success on paper, because I had it, and actually what was going on inside of me. And so, yeah, this business made 7 figures overnight. I was like, the poster child for this business because I did it so quickly. And yet I received $0. Zero. So my business was making 7 figures really quickly, and from 0 to 7 figures in no time. But the money I paid myself, or the money our family received, 0. And shortly after that, you probably all know the story very well, I had to file Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So here's the thing. I look back at that time and I realized life was giving me a major lesson. The results, which was basically, if you measure results as, oh, wow, Tasha, you had a 7-figure business, great. But what's the point if $0 came to me? So I look at the results as how much money did I receive for all of this sacrificing, all of this unhappiness, all of this work and effort that I was doing. And the money was not there. So I want you all, if you're watching, I just want you all to jump in and write, money equals energy in reverse. Money equals energy in reverse. Money equals energy in reverse. And the law of attraction that we all are practicing and counting on to do all these incredible things with us, it is energy out, energy in. Whatever energy you put out, turns into form and comes back to you as energy coming in. And when it comes back as form, when energy comes back to you as form coming in, that's usually results, money. So whatever energy you put out, the law of attraction says that's going to be the energy that comes back, and it comes back in form. Energy is when you think of energy going out, it's very non-physical, can't touch it, can't feel it, it's just energy. But when it comes back in form. And the form it comes back in, for those of us that are in business, is money. So when I look back at that time in my life, the energy that I was putting out, yes, I was making seven figures on paper, but the energy that was coming back to me was very, very low. And so I look at this observation in my life, at this period in my life, and I now have the benefit 20 years later to compare and contrast. And I just want to, just have you look at this with me. So I had that business. I was scenario one, overwhelmed, resentful, angry, not doing anything that I was passionate about at all. I was in the hair salon business. I'm like, how did you ever, Tasha, end up in that kind of business, right? But there I was. So I was in the hair salon business, nothing that I was passionate about. It was a great money maker. Obviously, it got to seven figures really quickly. But there was no creativity. There was no Tasha. There was no fun. There was no joy. It made sense on paper. It made money sense. But every single day that I ran that business, I felt like I should be doing all these things. I have to do inventory. I have to go network. I have to, sit here and run through, what do you call this? Unemployment reports. Like everything was just heavy. And the result was not what I desired. No money that came in. So that was scenario number one. Then it obviously did not work out, but I got the lesson. And then the next go round, when I started this business, oh my gosh, this is fun. I'm doing stuff I love. It never feels like work. I have a ton of creative expression in this business. It's like, I feel like doing this, I do it. I feel like doing that. Like I'm playing, I'm having fun. There's so much joy. And literally for a fraction of the effort and the hustle and the everything else compared to the other business, the result is a total opposite, right? The result to me is a total opposite. And so, I mean, you can look at just business and numbers and logic and go, okay, well, in that business, you had way more overhead versus this business. But I have learned, and trust me on this one, I have learned looking at it over all this time that the difference was my energy. So I got that little bit of information. Fast forward, I'm running this business, everything's amazing. I'm having the time of my life. And one of the things that I set as a success measurement, people will say, when I get to my first million, that will be my like thing. Yes, I made it, I'm successful. Well, for me, the measurement was when I'm able to go away for 8 weeks vacation in the summer and not worry about money, not think about business, not have to have all of that. That to me was my first like benchmark. I have made it. And so I did that. And here I was on my 8-week vacation, having a blast, traveling all over Europe, doing all the things all by myself, just like living my best life. And in the middle of it, I found myself feeling guilty, even feeling ashamed. And I realized, wait a second, I'm feeling like I don't deserve this. I need to be productive. I need to get back to being productive. Then I started worrying about money and all of it came back. And so I said, you know what? This is something from my childhood. When I was a child, and think if you agree with me, let me know in the comments. When I was a child, I was rewarded with playtime after I had been productive, after I'd done all my homework, done all my chores, done all the things that was, required of me, then I could play. Or if I got really good grades in school, then I could have fun. Then I was allowed to go play. And so what I realized on this 8-week vacation that I had, this was something I wanted so badly. I finally gave it to myself. It was a big deal for me. And here I was feeling guilty because it was like, no, this is, first of all, did you really earn this? Like, did you truly earn this? Did you work hard enough for this? Now you're going on 8 weeks without being productive, without generating any results. Can anybody here, like Natasha, my namesake is like, yes, this sounds familiar. Can you connect the dots to when you were growing up, realizing that play and pleasure was reserved for after you had been productive, after you had gotten good grades, after you'd gotten, some result that was expected, that was when you could, and back then it wasn't even you were granted permission to go have pleasure. And so productivity equals play was a model that got imprinted in my little girl's mind. I couldn't play unless I'd been productive. I couldn't play unless I'd earned it. I couldn't, and forget it, anything academic did not include pleasure. Nothing about academics was pleasurable, you know? It was very much a you have to. So I just want to know, anybody else in here, let me know in the comments, Instagram, wherever you're watching, can you agree? Can you relate to this? That was a past belief for me. Yeah. So I realized on my journey that this was going on. And so I was like, all right, time to change this. I can't have gone through this other business, seen what it did to my life, my health, my family. I mean, I practically lost everything operating under that paradigm. Here I had this new chance doing work I love, all of this. I'm like, I need to change this model. And so my change was, the more fun I have, the more money I make. The more fun I have, the more money I make, because I realize I'm not a child anymore. There is nobody that needs to grant me permission to have pleasure. I am the one who decides. I am the one who decides. You, my friend, you are the one who decides. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to be rewarded. This is a new belief that I'm going to have. I'm going to be rewarded for having more fun, for being more creative, for doing stuff that I'm passionate about, for playing more in my business. Yeah, that's how I'm going to be rewarded financially. I'm going to be rewarded for having fun, for being creative, for playing, for following things that I'm passionate about. The new model is, the more pleasure I have in my business, the more money I'm going to make, the more results the people that I serve are going to have, because they are going to get the best, Tasha. So think about this, just why this works, and energetically. The more fun I have, the more money I make. So the pleasure principle, which is what I promised I would share with you all today, the pleasure principle and the new model for my business is, I am rewarded for fun. I'm rewarded for play. I'm rewarded for creative expression. I'm rewarded for doing things that I'm passionate about. Would you like to borrow it? Please do. Please take that as like foundational principle for my business. The more fun I have, the more play, the more creative expression, the more work I do that I'm passionate about, the more money I'm going to make. Anybody want to borrow that? Let me know in the comments. Just type me. If you want to borrow it, if you want to be like, my business plan is going to start with this foundationally, just type in the chat me. So I know I got a few other ladies out there that are like, Tasha, I'm on board for the pleasure principle. Natasha's there with me. There we go. Right? Me. And it's just a decision. It literally is just a choice. Like, you can choose. Sometimes I think we forget that these businesses are created by us. We have full ownership. We have full decision. It is us that's deciding. And you can either bring the rules from your childhood, or you can go, no, I'm an adult making an adult decision. And my decision says, this is the way I'm going to get paid. I'm going to get paid for having fun. I'm going to get paid for being passionate about my work, for creatively expressing myself, for being myself. I'm going to get paid for being me. That's the new thing, right? No more being productive, working hard, demonstrating, all that. And so I love it. Full ownership. So I just want to, put this last thing in your mind. Why does this work? Energy is everything. We know that. Anybody watching, I know that you've been in my world for a while. You do all the law of attraction studies. We all know at this point, energy is the substance of all things. Everything that you see, touch, feel, experience, the basic foundation of everything is energy. And so think about that. The energy that you put out in your business is going to be returned to you. Your business is a result of your energy. Can you all type that? My business is a result of my energy. The results, actually, here's a more powerful way to get it in your mind. The results in my business are a result of my energy. The results I have in my business are the result of my energy. That's a really great way to understand it. And so for me, I notice that when I'm having fun, when I'm playing, when I'm doing things that, light me up versus, oh my gosh, I have to do this. I have to make another course. I have to do that. I have to, I should. When I'm in that energy, you feel it. When I'm having fun and just being Tasha, oh my gosh, like watch out. Everybody wants a piece of that. And it's the same with you because we feed off of energy. Your people do not want strategy, they want energy. They want your highest energy. So I want you to think about that when you start thinking, do I have enough pleasure in my business? Is there enough pleasure energy in how I operate my business? Because if my energy is what people are going to feed off of, I want to make sure I'm having fun, right? The other thing is the universe responds to your energy, not your effort. The universe responds to your energy. You can have the best strategy in the world. You can have the coach that has 10x businesses all over the world. You can have Chat GPT. You can have every resource available to you. And if your energy is heavy and if it's weighted and if it's just low vibe, the universe is going to bring you a result to match your energy. It doesn't matter how much of all of that stuff you have. If you're not in the right energy, you're not going to get the energetic match that you are looking for. So because I know the universe responds to my energy, the number one most important thing for me to manage in my business is my energy, my energy. And I am at my highest energy when I'm having fun. I don't know about y'all. Anybody else? Like when you're having fun, do you notice you're in your highest vibration? Do I have enough pleasure operating in my business? So the thing that I'm going to leave you with this morning is how can I have more fun? How can I have more pleasure in my work, in my business? I want you to just pause for a second and first of all, ask yourself, am I having fun? Like, is this really fun? And second question is, how can I have more fun? How can I decide I'm going to operate from the pleasure principle? How can I bring more fun, more of what's fun into the work that I do? More pleasure. I want more pleasure. I want more pleasure, like mantra. I want more pleasure. Ultimately, the more pleasure you have, the more you're experiencing pleasure, is the higher your energetic vibration and the more you are going to multiply the income that comes to you, because money is energy in reverse. Remember that. Money is energy in reverse. So money is the energy you get back for the energy that you have put out. Therefore, if I were you, and I'm just saying you are the one who gets to decide, what I'm telling you what I'm doing, absolutely. I go through seasons of this where I'm like, man, I'm not having fun. I'm not having fun. And I see it. I see it in my results, right? So I literally have to pull myself back up and go, Tasha, you're not a kid anymore. You can have fun. You can be creative. You can do things that you're passionate about. It's your business. Go do it. Go have fun. And guess what? Everybody wins. You all love that, Tasha. I love that, Tasha. Everybody has fun, right? And you get incredible results when I'm in that energy too. Okay, money is energy in reverse. All right, that's what I have for you. Last thing is that I want you all to type reminder, which I think, so if you're watching on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook Live, type the word reminder, because as you know, I am on a mission. Over the summer, I'm going to be walking you through a series that it's going to culminate on my birthday, September 5th. I'm going to be walking you through a series where I'm taking us all back to fun. I'm taking us all back to the true us. I'm really just showing you, listen, it is time to go back to the version of you that A, was not allowed to have fun, or B, forgot and just stopped having fun. And so we are going back to that version of you, the true you, and we're going back to fun in our lives and in our businesses. You want to be here for the entire whole summer, the entire thing is going to be amazing. So type the word reminder, check your DM, make sure you click the prompt to say, yes, I want all the notifications. I want to be in on this over the summer. All right. Well, I love you all. Go have a great rest of the day and a wonderful holiday. Bye, everyone.